Okay, so second attempt at this video. First time I tried, I dropped an F-bomb. Not that anybody who is doing this kind of trigonometry shouldn't be able to handle an F-bomb or two, but just in case I have to show it to my classes. Alright, now, sine of W is equal to that. Cos of T is equal to that. What they're telling us here is, well, they're telling us that the sine of this angle W is giving us 3/5. Now, let's take this back, quite a ways back. So I might have to answer this question in 2 videos because I really want to make sure you guys understand what the hell's going on. Here's what's going on. Remember this stuff? SOH CAH TOA. This is where it all comes from. This is where trig, well, not where it originated, but this is the old school trig. You learn this stuff in grade 10, you did it in grade 11, you've done this a lot. Now, sine theta is equal to O over H, cos theta is equal to A over H, tan theta is equal to A over A. Now, I'm not going to get too much into that because what's going to happen is we're going to change all this up. Now, what happened in grade 11 and carries on in grade 12 is we do this. This is some point P, and that point has a coordinate because it's placed on a coordinate plane. We always start from the origin, but still, this is an X and this is a Y. Well, because it's the Cartesian plane. So this is X, this is Y. Now what we do is we want to find this angle in here. So we were looking for this angle theta. Now instead of talking about just OH and A, in order to get it into a Cartesian plane and go around into different quadrants, we've got to think about it in terms of X and Y now. So let's draw a dashed line down here. We just created a right angle. Now I can use SOH CAH TOA because I have a right angle triangle. This is how this whole thing breaks down. Need to understand this. Take it back to first principles. From here, from theta, we label this triangle with O, with H, with A. Now, notice that O is a line straight up and down. O is measuring the height of this point from the x coordinate, which is also, sorry, from the x-axis, which is also the y of the point. So the point is y high. And now, how far is the point away from the origin here? How far away from the y-axis? Well, it's x. Okay, so we have just turned our triangle from OH and A into X, Y, and something that we will call R. R is the radius. Now, because, oh, this is going to be brutal, but because if you take this arm and you spin it around here, that actually ain't bad for using a friggin' computer pen. Holy shit. That's awesome circle. Okay, sorry, get over myself. So they call it radius because if you spin this arm around, this is the length of the radius. So it's the length of R. Now, couple things. First of all, basics, Pythagorean theorem. Always x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. This holds true, as you can see, because this is always a right angle triangle. The y and the x value are always at a right angle. So r is always, well, Pythagorean theorem. Okay, now, what else do we know? We know SOH CAH TOA. But SOH CAH TOA is going to change, because when I take this into this quadrant, whoosh, this theta that I'm going to solve for here, theta, is still going to be found by an x and a y. Now, what's going to happen is my y value is going to be positive up in this quadrant. My x value is going to be negative. You should know that, though, because this is how you figured out your cast rule. If you don't know that, well, go over your cast rule again. Anyways, let's take all these letters, switch them. Now, sine theta is not equal to O over H. I mean, it still is, though. You can still think of it as O over H. But what they start doing is changing this into Y over R. It's a straight switch. All of our O's become Y's. All of our A's become X's. All of our H's become R. So, sine theta is equal to Y over R. Cos theta is equal to x over r, and tan theta is equal to O over A. So over A, it was over A, because I don't even remember all these things. I still just think about SOH CAH TOA. But when I need to switch it, I just think, okay, if sine is O over H, now it's just Y over R. Done. If cos is A over H, now it's just X over R. Cool. If tan is over A, it's now just Y over X. So I just sort of think about this picture in my head and I turn this thing into this thing. All right, now On the next video, I'll actually solve this sucker. But you need to understand these things. You need to know that the sine of theta is y over r, cos theta is x over r, tan theta is y over x.